Chucky unsoru agus fossi unfair Chucky undwiller gloss ar bar na crev Chucky na blahana le farhin an array Fossi na livina ondo an aslon.
Hello and welcome to the Medicine Show. It's a beautiful and somewhat rainy springtime here in Kentucky, and so this time I'm just going to be talking about the flowers that are blooming and the plants that are coming up and the trees that are leafing out and some of the miraculous properties that these plants have. This is a forsythia bush. It doesn't really grow here on its, well, it's not native, but sometimes it does grow here on its own. It often escapes cultivation, and the fruits from this berry are used in Chinese medicine for helping to reduce fevers and cool the body. These are alliums. People call it onion grass or wild onion or wild garlic, and it is really a member of the same genus as onion and garlic. It's basically a garlic, and you can use the tops much like you would use scallions or green onions. A lot of people really hate this plant because it disrupts the uniformity and sameness of lawns, but I love it because it is good food and is good medicine, helps the body fight off infections, breaks up congestion, all that sort of thing. And it loves to grow in disturbed ground, so sometimes if you see an area that's been dug up a lot, you can actually have a whole swath of purple, sometimes entire fields that you can see by the roadside. In this case, the ring around a tree, you can see the disturbed ground from the less disturbed ground by where the dead nettle's growing. This is a spice bush. It has tiny yellow flowers and spicy bark. Right now, while the sap is running, is the easiest time to peel the bark off of these trees. It's used to induce sweating mostly. Also improves digestion.
This one is Pipsissawa, Chimaphila maculata. I use this as an anti-inflammatory in my practice. Care has to be taken to harvest it sustainably if it's going to be harvested at all. This is scarlet elf cup. It is a mushroom. It's probably growing on a partially buried piece of dead wood and has this beautiful red color in the middle of it. I don't use it for anything medicinally. I just think it looks neat. And then this is golden corydalis, which is a member of the poppy family, and the whole plant contains papaverine and some poppy alkaloids that have the usual types of poison and medicine that those plants have. This is chickweed. You can find it growing on a boulder in the forest like this, or you can find it growing in your backyard. Akara, golden ragwort. It has flowers that will be yellow when they open, and the leaves around the base are purple on the underside, and then it's got these lobed leaves growing up along the stem. It's a very common plant that blooms around this time of year. These are the leaves of elderberry. Every part of this plant has some medicinal use. This is a rock house, sort of an overhang that's been used as a dwelling in the past. These rock houses or cliff dwellings are generally in sandstone, and the same geology that creates them gives rise to mass-bearing forests. You can see most of these leaves are oak leaves that are on the ground. So there would be a lot of acorns here at the right time of the year. And then also a nice view, and at the bottom of the hill is a running stream. So acorns and a long distance view and a running stream are all things that you really want to have if you're looking for deer. So for a long time, people have used these sorts of places as temporary encampments for when they were hunting deer, and some of them are still used for that and probably have been for hundreds and maybe even thousands of years. These are spring beauties, Claytonia virginica. They put on a spectacular show of blooming all at once every spring, and then they're done for the year. They're edible as well as beautiful. And these are cleavers, Gallium aperine, which will eventually grow into a big mat of this same plant. And they are a simple diuretic. This is Tipularia, an orchid called cranefly orchid, and the leaves are actually much more noticeable than the flowers. And then this one is called toothwort. It's a spicy edible plant that you'll often find in the woods in springtime, and it's there every year. That's just a small sample of some of the things that are growing in the woods where I live, and maybe where you live too. And I would encourage everybody to take some time out in the woods if you can and see what's growing near where you are, and stop and take a look at the flowers and enjoy the beauty of the springtime. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon on The Medicine Show.